So if you haven't been living under a rock, you'll know that this car released not too long ago. And this car is Tesla's Cyber Cab. I think that's what they're calling it. Cyber Taxi, Cyber Cab. Regardless, it's a two-person car that looks like it's from Back to the Future. So futuristic looking, all gold. And this thing has no steering wheel. You heard that right. No steering wheel. It can drive two people or one person to the airport, to the grocery store, and navigate fully autonomously all by itself just using cameras. I've used full self-driving more times than I can count, and it blows me away every single time. So if you're like me and you love Teslas and you love their futuristic approach, perhaps you've thought about taking a little bit of that full self-driving capability and integrating it into your workflows. Perhaps that means through Instagram DMs. Perhaps that's through email. Perhaps that's an AI phone agent that can talk to your leads and respond to them automatically, all without you thinking about it, all without you blinking an eye. So if that's you, this video is 100% for you, because I'm going to show you how you can build an autonomous texting agent that can text with your leads, conversate with them, nurture them, actually ask them relevant, meaningful questions, and then slowly, encourage them to book a call for your product or your service, whatever that may be. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. I'm going to show you how to build this. And all I ask is your attention, because I haven't seen any other videos on YouTube using this setup with a Pinecone vector database with text to give the AI really insane context about the conversation and what it should respond with. Okay, let's hop into the video. Okay, so before we get into the details of each and every single one of these modules right here, which is the flow, I'm going to just kind of explain the general premise of how it works and how it operates. And then I'm going to show you in here. Obviously, we have our Twilio account. I'm going to show you how to set all of this up and actually create kind of like the back-end infrastructure, if you will, of this system. It's a feature in Twilio called Twilio Console. It's super cool. We'll get into that. And then obviously, last but not least, I'll show you how to set up your Pinecone vector database and create our index so that we can actually log our text data in here and then give the AI relevant context when it's responding to people. So we started off with a webhook here. This is going to capture our leads response coming in from Twilio Console. This is going to catch a post request. We then have to vectorize the lead message that's come in via the webhook. This is done so that Pinecone can actually understand the text message. It can't just understand the sentence, "Hey, what's up?" It needs to be turned into a set of vector coordinates. So that's what this module is doing. We then pull similar vectors to the one that we just vectorized. That's the part that I was talking about where we actually get the relevant context so that the AI can just perform better. We then aggregate some of these, use tools to actually format our response here, a text aggregator. We then message an assistant, which I'll also show you how to create this assistant here. This assistant is pre-trained on a series of texts that we got ChatGPT to generate. Again, I'll go into all of this in the video, so stick around. And then from here, the assistant will just generate essentially a lot better response than just a regular GPT module would. Of course, we could use a regular create a completion module within Make and just give it a lot of context in the system prompts and then the user prompts, right? But I like going with this assistant route because it's a feature built into the playground, and I think it adds another layer of complexity, but it adds a lot more value and actually creates just better responses in general. Then we use this set variable module right here to actually, essentially, we grab the result from here, pop it in here, and then we use this big complicated looking thing to actually escape new lines so that the JSON can be formatted so that this API call actually accepts it, right? So this is the stuff that is crucial to do. So we make sure that like spaces are covered, hyphens, weird characters. So that takes care of that. We vectorize the other message, like the AI message here. Then we push our new vectors into our database. Then the webhook response gets ran at the very end to actually send our AI generated text message back to the lead. So if we jump into Twilio now, this is where we're going to start things off. So create an account. You can grab a phone number. I think you get $5 to $10 for free to play around. Could be wrong on that, but create an account. I think I've put in $20 max on my account, and I've sent upwards of 500 texts. So you can kind of do the math on that. It's extremely reasonable. So create an account in Twilio, get a phone number, and then go up to this search bar here and look up Studio. And then within Studio, click on that one. And then from here, when you're in the studio, you are going to click create new flow, which I've already done. And then you will be prompted with a screen to create a new flow. So this is my flow. So create a new flow. I'm just going to go to my flow right here. You can name it whatever you want. I call it GPT SMS. Probably a good idea to name it something relevant to the build you're doing. So you'll be met with this interface right here. So this is the Twilio console, or I'd say Twilio Studio interface. So basically from here, you can create these texting flows and sequences, all like very low code. And it's a drag and drop block editor, which is awesome. Like when I found out Twilio actually had this as a feature, it just made me respect them a lot more as a company that they like took the time to build this out, because it makes creating these systems so much more accessible for people who are maybe not as technically inclined. So you'll see this big module up here. So you won't have any of these ones down below. You're just going to have this big trigger module right here. You can see incoming message, incoming call, incoming conversation, REST API, and subflow. So we're not going to worry about these four over here. We're just going to worry about the far left incoming messages tab. So I want you to go over here to your widget library. Can I move this or move myself? I think I have to move myself. So we have the widget library over here. And what this is, it's a place where you can grab all of your blocks. It's like Legos. You can grab all of your little blocks that all have a different function and a different component that they're going to add to the scenario. So our first one is going to be an HTTP request. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and it's going to be make HTTP request. First one we're going to get right here. Now I want you to rename this so you can see how once you drop a module in, our panel on the right hand side has actually changed to this make an HTTP request module so that we can configure it. I want you to change this to grab underscore message right here. Now I'm getting an error. Widgets must have a unique name because my module on the screen is already called grab message. So do not call it I can't call it grab message, but you're going to want to name it grab message, grab underscore message. As for the request method, this is going to be a post method because we're actually sending our incoming message to this URL. Now, as for the request URL, we're going to go back to make, and you're just going to want to create a webhook, right click, webhook, custom webhook right here. Now, once you've added your webhook and it looks like mine, and make sure it says custom webhook, click on it, and you'll have your webhook URL right here. Just click copy address to clipboard, come back into Twilio and paste it right there. That's all you're going to do because this post request is going to send our incoming message data text to our webhook, right? That's how you can kind of think about it. A bit of a chain of events there. I know it can be kind of hard to follow sometimes. And maybe some of you are asking the question, well, how does it know like what message to send, or how does it know like how to categorize the messages? Well, it doesn't. All it knows is that there's an incoming message to your phone number. So your phone number, which you'll see if you rewind the video, you'll see the phone number. It's on the main screen of Twilio. That's your phone number. Anybody who texts that phone number after you set it up, including you can send a text to that phone number. This will grab because it's technically an incoming message. So there's no need to like set it up to preface it with anything. This system will just work out of the box, which is super cool. So after you've named it grab message, after you've added your request URL, change the request method to post. You're going to want to change the content type to application JSON. And then you are going to want to toss in this request body right here. Now, don't worry. I'm going to have a Gamma document in the description of this video. You can look at it and it will have all of these little details in it so that you can follow along, copy and paste the code snippets that you need to actually be successful in this tutorial, and it'll be super easy. So you can either do that, follow along with that document, which is kind of a quick setup guide, or just copy on the screen right here. So if this is complicated, I'll explain it very quickly. Basically, we are just creating a JSON object with keys and then values, right? So the lead response, which is the text coming in, we're calling it lead response. This could technically be called anything, but just name it what I've named things in this video to follow along and make sure you don't get any errors. Then trigger.message.body, trigger, message, body. So these are methods of the trigger. .message.body are both methods of trigger and the things associated with it. So the body of the message from trigger. That's how you can think about it if you want to think about reading it in like a more human way. Then we're going to grab the sender number, trigger.message.from. So you can kind of see the similarities there, the body of the message, and then from, who the message is from. And then we're going to grab the message SID. Now, like making this flow, I realized you maybe don't need the message SID, but I would just include it just in case if you go down the rabbit hole with this scenario and actually explore more. Maybe you'll use it as like a unique identifier for each message. Anyway, I'm digressing. Copy that JSON, pop that in there. You don't have to change anything else, and then just hit save. Cool. So let me just delete this other one. So now from here, click on this success thing. Actually, sorry. You're going to want to get a new module. So go back to your widget library right here. And then we're going to grab the set variables module, which is somewhere in here. Set variables, drag that onto here. Once you have your set variables, just call it set variables 1. I believe that was just the predefined name that I went with, but make sure it's called set variables 1. Now you're going to want to click this plus button right here, and you're going to be met with a screen like this. You have the key and then the value right here. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to go to the one that I've already created. The key needs to be response underscore message, and the value is 2 of these kind of curly brackets, widgets dot grab underscore message dot parsed dot text underscore response. This has to be exactly what I've written here. Make sure word for word, letter for letter, it is exactly identical so you don't run into any errors down the road. You don't have to change anything else. Just hit save on that and then save right there. Then drag your success arrow down to here so that they're connected. They're like part of the flow, chaining them together. Then you're going to grab the send message variable. If we go back to here, it is somewhere within message right here. Send message, drag that on. Then connect it up. Connect this to the send message by literally just doing this, like dragging that to there, right? Hit publish, publish that. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Make sure to hit publish every time so your flow is always going to be up to date. That's very important. Then in your send messages, just call it send message 1. Message body is going to be flow.variables.response underscore message with the curly brackets on either side to finish it off. You'll know you set your variable correct when it turns this blue highlighted color. It's a nice little visual to tell you you're doing a good job, man, or woman. And from there, I don't believe there's any advanced. I believe these are predefined. If you click on advanced configuration, I believe these were just kind of set up already. But if they aren't for you, send message from flow.channel.address and then send message to contact.channel.address. Believe they're already there, but if they aren't, make sure to add those. Hit save and publish, publish. And then, guys, congratulations. We've built our Twilio console flow. So just to go over this again, super duper fast. This is going to grab our message and send it to the webhook. Then this is going to send a message. Then this is going to set the variable, and the variable is literally just the person's response from this. Then we're going to send the message back to them that we have configured within our GPT flow that our webhook is going to receive. Excuse me. Hit save. Boom. Hit publish. Well done, everyone. We're done that part. Now, oh, it's raining really hard. It's really nice. It's peaceful. I don't know if you can hear that. That's real nice though. And then if we go back to phone numbers right here, we can see this is my number. And then if we go back to our dashboard, actually, that's where we're going to go back to. Sorry, I apologize. We actually will need to go to phone numbers. Phone numbers. So look up phone numbers, go to your phone numbers, active numbers, click on your number, and then you'll be brought to a screen where you can configure the last little thing that we need to do. So this is the voice configuration. And then if we go down to messaging configuration, let me move myself again. Keep moving the screen capture. Boom. Move myself to this corner. So if we look at the messaging configuration, we can see that when a message comes in, you make sure you want to select Studio Flow, which is the scenario that we just built. Then select the flow name, and you're done. Click Save Configuration. I can't, it's grayed out, but make sure you save it, and you've done a very good job. And that is going to be it, everyone. So from there, we've successfully created the Twilio portion of our build. Now, if we jump back into GPT, you should already have your custom webhook module. Now, the next module you're going to want to add is an API call to OpenAI. So make sure you go on API, make sure you go on API, make sure you go on OpenAI, make an account, add some credits to your account. I'm not going to explain how to do that. If you don't know how to do it, ask ChatGPT using the search function, ask Perplexity using the search function, or just Google it. I promise you can figure it out. So we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom and click Make an API Call. So that's the module we are going to select. So if we go into our Make an API Call, make sure you connect it, click Add. You're just going to have to add your API key, and you don't have to worry about your organization ID. The URL is /v1/embeddings right here. It's going to be a post request, key, content type, application JSON in the headers. That's all we need. And then for the body, another JSON object. You might be thinking, it's quite similar to the Twilio one. And you'd be correct in thinking that it is very similar. So the input is going to be the phone number and then the sender number right here. Now, actually, let me just run this quick step so you can actually, let me show you how to get the data from this so that you can actually access it in this other module, this GPT module, like I have. See right here, this custom webhook thing. Let me show you how to do that. So go to here, click run this module only, right? Like right click it, click run this module, and then go to your Twilio number, whatever it is, grab your phone that I'm recording with right now, and go to your texting application and type in that phone number, your Twilio number, and just say, hey. Click send. Once you click send, this webhook module will complete and get a little one up here, and then click the one, and then that will mean that you actually have data in the pipeline ready to go, and then you'll be able to access it just like I have right here, and you can put in your variables. So phone number, sender number right here, right? So you can just click it once you have the data from the webhook. Phone number, sender number, then lead message is lead response, right? So this is the number. This is the incoming message that Twilio is giving us from our lead. Then it's very important, comma, model, text embedding 3 small. That's the text embeddings model that's actually going to vectorize our text for us. This is the model we're going to use. Then the encoding format is going to be float. From there, hit OK. You've done well. And that's it for the first API call. Next up, we have Pinecone. So let's segue into actually creating our Pinecone index. Create a Pinecone account, sign in with Google, GitHub, whatever you want to sign in with, or just email password. Then go to indexes, click create index. Name it whatever you want. SMS, GPT, flow. And then for the model, click text embedding 3 small. This will change the dimensions and the metric for you. Super important. Then just leave everything the exact same. If your region is wrong, I guess it'll actually just predefine a region for you because the other two are locked and I'm on the free plan. And then click create index. And you're done. That's it. And then you'll have this index with this data that we're going to need to actually connect to make.com. So let's go back to Make. And you can see here, if you go to add connection, make a connection, name your connection something relevant, SMS text flow, something along those lines. The index name is going to be this. I know a couple people have had an issue with this. So HTTPS : / grab everything in front of that. So SMS index all the way up to the first period pinecone.io, like .pinecone.io. Don't include that first dot right there. So this is what the name of the index is. Copy this, come back to make, and paste that in. So that's going to be your index, right? And everyone's is going to be different. Then for the API key, what you're going to add is your API key. So go down to API keys, click create key, copy it, paste it back in, and paste it back into make, and then click save, and you just created a connection. Now, same thing here. So imagine you don't have any of this, right? You're just going to run these two again. So click run once, send a text message to this. This will try to run, it will fail, but then you'll be able to actually access, then the Pinecone module will be able, this won't fail, this will, but you'll be able to access the data from this right here. So for the vector section, go up to data, and then just click on this entire embeddings array right here. This is going to be our entire vectorized array that I was talking about earlier. Then everything else for the key, phone number, type number, value is going to be the sender number from the webhook. This is going to filter the conversation by the phone number. And that is going to be relevant because we're going to be able to grab the most relevant text from the conversation. Limit, just one. Then with the array aggregator, we're just going to set one up. Make sure the source module is query vectors, grab vector ID, score, and metadata. That is very important. Then, I believe this is the setting you want to include with Pinecone in your query vectors. Include metadata, click yes, right? Very important. And yeah, cool. Okay, aggregate, boom. Then for the text aggregator, make sure the source module is the array aggregator here. For row separator, click other, put a comma in, and then for your text, lead response, and then it's going to be the array metadata.content, which is just if you click on array, metadata content, metadata.text content right here. And for the AI response, same thing, but the AI content. So you just click that, it'll pop it in, and then click OK, boom. Now for the assistant part. So this next module is our assistant. So basically what I've done here, if we go to OpenAI, we're going to head on over to the API login over here. Then we're going to go to the dashboard, and we're going to go to the assistants tab over here. Now, obviously, this is assuming that you have added funds to your account and you're in the assistants tab over here. Now, I actually don't know if this is limited to the paid users only, so forgive me for that. If not, and you can't access this, just get the paid plan, 30 bucks a month, 30 Canadian, 20 US a month. Run it up. It's super helpful. Anyway, name your agent, SMS agent. And sorry, let me just backtrack a second. So the actual reason this agent is so important right here is because it's going to have all of our context of the conversation. So it's going to have our prompt, what it needs to do, how it needs to do it, what its entire life purpose is, and then it's going to have context. So we're going to upload a PDF to it that we're going to get ChatGPT to generate. That's going to include a ton of fabricated text conversations along the certain tone and lines that we actually want our AI texting agent to say. And then it's going to be able to draw from that for inspiration, so it knows what to respond in the conversation. For example, if we want our agent to respond to nurture the lead in a specific way, we aren't just going to say go crazy and talk to the lead if that was our prompt, because then the AI might ask it how the weather is. It might say, why isn't grass purple? We don't know what it's going to say really, because it's just going to hallucinate a random conversation. We need to train it as much as we can and fine tune it and put it down a very narrow path, right? Imagine it's like a bowling alley and we're putting the bumpers up on either side so it doesn't go off the rails, right? This is the whole point of this step. So now in our agent, name it SMS agent whatever you want, really. For this, so you can see this is our system instructions right here. So this is its North Star, how it's going to act, what it's going to do. Sorry, excuse me, there we go. Okay, so again, this prompt will be in the Gamma in the description, so take a look. You can just copy and paste it. Yeah, so it's all going to be in the Gamma, right? But you have this. So you're helpful, friendly, Spartan, professional conversations. I read that so horrible. You are a helpful, friendly, and genuine assistant who has chill, Spartan, yet professional conversations with leads via text. Saying Spartan in my prompts has increased output quality, in my opinion, by like 100x. So if you haven't tried that yet, I would highly encourage everyone watching this video to give that a try. It's like a crazy cheat code because it just responds so chill with like no fluff, no adverbs. Like it's really nice. Implement, whatever. All this stuff. Cool. Hit save. Model GPT-4o Mini. That's really all we're going to need. And it's a lot cheaper on the API credits. So that's really all we're going to need. Now enable file search. Toggle this. Now we have this vector store for SMS agent right here. If we click on this, we have this SMS agent knowledge base.pdf. All we've done here is we have literally, where is it? Where's my thing? Here we go. Cool. So if you look up here, we have this entire prefabricated conversation. Hey, what's up, bro? Not much, man. Just helping business level up. What's on your mind, right? What's up, man? So this is the lead, right? An example of an incoming message. You, all good here. Just working on helping people save time, make more money. What about you? So we give it things to say. We can actually remove this. What's up, bro? What do you guys do? We help business bring in more leads, make more money, and cut down on the busy work. Keeps things simple. Very straightforward, right? So you can kind of pre-train it with all of these. And then how I actually achieved these conversations, these fake conversations in here, is I actually just went to ChatGPT, right? And I was literally just like, okay, so you can do that. You can give it this big thing right here. So it's popped up this awesome thing right here. Again, I didn't give it the same prompt I gave it before to get these super chill answers, but just tweak it, keep working on it. Like it just takes iterations. It's just prompting. So bang these out, right? So you got these. Just once this is done generating, make sure it doesn't slack off. Actually ask for all 50 or 100 or 200. The more, the merrier. So literally just get as many unique examples as you can. Copy and paste them all into this document, just like I have. Go up to File, Download, PDF. Then come back into here. Click on Add Files, drop your file here, and it will appear just as mine is right here, and it will add a file. Make sure file search is enabled. For the temperature, drop it down to about 0.3. We want it to follow our prompting and our training as like fairly closely. We don't want it to go off the rails too much. Low temperatures result in very strict AI responses pertaining to the context of what we've trained it on. Higher responses allow it to have a little more liberty, a little more freedom, and kind of say like silly shit that we might not want it to say. So that's kind of it. Cool. So your agent is created. There's no save button or anything. Your agent's done. It's created. So if we go back to make.com and you actually add the module, look up OpenAI, message and assistant right here, you'll be met with this drop down, which I'll show you in 1 second here. You'll be met with this drop down of assistants. So just click the right assistant, the one that you just made. The role should be user and then give it a message right here, right? So make sure to reference the lead response along with the AI response here. So this is our tools module because it's pulling the data from our Pinecone database right here. And now something I forgot to mention is that your Pinecone database will need text messages to actually function. So if you just like keep running this module right here and your Pinecone one and just keep saying like, hey, what's up? What's up? How's it going? So something I actually like didn't fully touch on is that you're not going to have any data in your Pinecone index initially, right? I have 36 records because I've just messaged it 36 times, but you're actually not going to have any of these, right? So you can see in the metadata here, we have AI content, current date, phone number, and text content, and those are being all pushed into here, which we'll get to in a second. I'll show you how to add all that, but you're not going to have these. So it just takes time to conversate with agents, and then your Pinecone database will actually have more data the more it talks to people, and then the more accurate it will get. So we're almost like fine-tuning our own model as we go, and it's going to get smarter as it talks to more people. Because the advantages of Pinecone is that it pulls the most contextually accurate response. So if somebody says like, hey man, like what do you guys do? It's going to find the most similar response that somebody has asked us in the past. Maybe it's not, hey man, what do you do? It's, hey bro, what do you guys do? But it's going to know those are very similar. So it's going to pull the AI's answer to that question before it answers, right? Because that's this AI content right here. And then it's going to feed it into our assistant, as you can see here, through this tools, along with the AI response here. Do not change your answer based on this, but make sure to reference it in case it's a more relevant, better answer than you had. AKA, look at the Pinecone database, because that is probably a pretty decent answer that got given in the past. Anyway, that is like the really key part of this scenario that differentiates it from a lot of other autoresponders. And then just output your response to the leads message, and then we give it like the actual lead message. Obviously, nothing else. Have a conversation with them. Pretty simple prompt. Could be improved like anything, but that's all we're going to add for our assistant. So this is the brain of our entire operation, this little module right here. Then this set variables one, I'm not going to go into this, just add all of this. It's going to be in the Notion, the Gamma. Essentially, it just escapes new lines, escapes weird characters, weird things that the prospect might have sent us. And then you want to add your result right in, kind of sandwiched right in here. There'll be a placeholder like in the Notion. You'll see where to put it. Just delete that, add it in right there. Your result from here. Next, another call to the good old OpenAI API /v1/embeddings, same URLs before. Really, you can just copy this from the last one. The only thing we're gonna change is the AI message is our clean result right here from our tools. So this is the part where we actually get to push these new changes into the database. So first we vectorize them right here. Next, we click on the Pinecone upsert a vector module. So add a module, Pinecone, upsert a vector right there. Boom, Pinecone for the vector ID. I just did the lead response. This could be anything, any unique ID that you want to use to filter the vectors. I just did the lead response. Values, same as last time, right? Data, click on this entire embeddings array. That's what we're going to put. Make sure you turn on map. This is very important. Otherwise, you will get a ton of errors. Turn on map. Then for the metadata right here, phone number, type number, value sender number, text content string, lead response, AI content string, result. Now you don't have to put this clean one right here because that only matters when we're vectorizing it. You can get errors. When we're actually pushing it into the database, it can have weird, wacky characters, strings, numbers, whatever we want, right? Then I just did the current date, string, format date now, blah, blah, blah. So this is how we get the metadata in here, this lovely looking metadata, which actually just gives us context. Because if you look at the value of this, if I copy this and go to our database right here, look at what this is. So this is a vector. Do you see how much that is? This, all of this equals this metadata, which isn't that much text, but look how much it has to do to process that and make a coordinate for it so that Pinecone can actually like store it and then find it again. Crazy, right? So this is what it actually looks like under the hood. But anyway, just a little sidebar. So that's how we get the metadata. So then from there, add your webhook response module, add a module, webhook response right there. And then that is going to be status code 200. And then our body is just going to be another JSON object. Just copy this text response and then add the result from right here. Actually, we should probably add the clean. I'm going to change that. Add the clean result. Probably get less errors that way. Add the clean result in there. Content type, application JSON. Don't have to add anything else, but make sure you add the content type application JSON. Whew. Okay. Did I blow your head off? Are you still with me? I hope you're still watching, because this video truly is like one of the coolest ones I personally think I've ever designed and built on this channel. And I think that it might earn a sub, maybe, if you found it to be valuable. I'd really appreciate it nonetheless. Like and a subscribe, maybe a share. And now let's actually test the scenario, like start to end, so you can see what it does and see how this thing runs. So I'm going to switch to my webcam from my phone and I'll show you how it runs. All right, so I just like ran it a bunch of times and showed it, and it was sick, and I wasn't even recording. So now we're recording. Let me show you how this runs again. So I'm screen recording, should be seeing my phone on the screen. So if we hit run once down here, we're waiting for a text. You should see, because the little spinners spinning. And then if we say like, hey, who is this? Hey, who is this? So it's processing. You can see that it is correct in capturing the response. Hey, who is this? This is from my phone number. Our assistant's processing. It's all processing. Boom. We got a 200 on our webhook response. And you can see we got a response. Hey, I'm your assistant here to help you learn more about how we can boost your business. What can I do for you today? Okay, cool. Amazing. Let's run this again. I want to learn how you can automate some stuff for me. Boom. Send that one in again. Our assistant is processing that brand new message. And if we go back to the webhook, I want to learn how you can automate some stuff for me. Hey, we can help you automate by implementing systems that streamline your process. This means less manual work, more efficiency, and ultimately more time for you to focus on what matters. If you'd like to chat more, just let me know. Awesome. Yeah, it's a super good answer. So I'd love to chat. I'd love to chat more. I'll respond with that. We'll see what we get. Absolutely. I'd love to chat more too. Let's set up a time to connect. Book here. So I gave it a booking, let's just a fake booking link. The way you can achieve this is in your documents or in the assistant right here. The message on assistant. You can be like, if they want to book a call, send them this booking link, and then you can put in your actual booking link, or you can be like, visit our website and book a call here and give them the website URL. So as you can see, it just fully had a chat with someone. It fully nurture them to some extent. And I could have gone much further, asked them a lot more questions, or asked the assistant a lot more questions, but it worked. It talked to them in an extremely intelligent, logical, like honestly, just beautiful way at the end of the day. Very, very elegantly handled from the AI. And now if we go to this query vectors, just really quick, I know this video is already super long, just, you know, I'll put timestamps. I'll put timestamps so you can navigate. If we go to this query vectors, we can see since the last message that came in was, I'd love to chat more, that last text I sent. If we go to our query vectors, the output was, I'd love to chat more, because I'd already sent that exact message in the past. And then it responded with this. So we feed this data to the AI to be like, hey, this question was asked before, probably going to be a similar answer to every single lead who wants to know if they're asking us that question. So here's this to inform your choice of words and text much better than if you were just like freeballing it with our knowledge base. So guys, Pinecone vector database plus Twilio plus ChatGPT equals some sauce for you on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for watching the video. I so appreciate it. Like more than I can describe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And that's it, guys. Yeah, a lot more content coming from me soon, and a bit of an announcement, a bit of a more like vlog style video of me just kind of like thinking, talking to the camera in a really raw way coming soon. So stick around for that. And yeah, love you guys. See you in the next one.